Hello everybody, my name is Memo, this is my channel FancyMemo, and I know I am the last person that should be reviewing this album. The album obviously being Run the Jewels 4 by Run the Jewels. I have a clear bias because this album has benefited me in tremendous ways. Because I uploaded my first reaction to this album a couple weeks ago, LP saw my YouTube video randomly and shouted out my YouTube channel. I have been doing YouTube for like 4 years, and this is the first time where my channel actually kind of blew up, and it's all because of LP from Run the Jewels and me making a video reacting to Run the Jewels 4. So clearly I am going to sound biased, especially since I love this album a lot. It's kind of the reason why I wanted to make this video. I just wanted to mention this before I review the album because I want it to be as transparent as possible. I do not have a lot of reviews on my channel, so I understand it's hard to judge my reviewing off of a small sample size. Although I try to go into every album that I review as unbiased and open-minded as possible, I understand why some of you guys might believe I am biased. That is the main reason why I have been hesitant about making this video. It's been about 2 weeks since the album has been released, and I'm just now reviewing it. I'm just now giving my final thoughts. I wasn't sure if I should make this video, but the more I listened to this album, the more I wanted to talk about it. I ended up choosing to review this album because honestly, this album is just one in a million. Run the Jewels are in their own lane. They're unique in their own ways. They are fantastic. But one of their biggest weaknesses, in my opinion, is something that actually makes them quite great. It's their consistency. You can always count on them for fire, for heat, great music every drop. The problem with their consistency is that these albums don't differentiate each other that well. They're not that unique from each other. They're different, obviously, but they're not that different. Run the Jewels 4 changes that. This album feels like a higher evolution from the other three. If Run the Jewels 1, 2, and 3 was one Pokemon, it'd be a Pichu. And Run the Jewels 4 would be its evolution, which is a Pikachu. They just improved on every single aspect from the past 3 albums, put it all together, and created this Frankenstein monster that came out so well. The production is godlike, which is no surprise since it's being produced by LP, obviously, but still, he improves even more from before. Their rapping and flows are out of this world, and their political commentary is scary accurate for what's going on in this country at the moment. These improvements are present from the beginning. Yankee and the Brave episode 4 starts off with some intense drums and a killer rhyme scheme, no pun intended, from Killer Mike. LP starts off his verse with the same rhyme scheme. As the song continues, the beat becomes more intense and crazy. I can say the same for the lyrics. Near the very end, Killer Mike says that he shot a cop and didn't care about it because he knew that cop shot a black kid the other day. Right out of the gate, they are talking about the injustices we're talking about right now that has been plaguing our society. They brilliantly end off the song by saying, "We don't mean no harm, but we truly mean the disrespect." They're not trying to cause any trouble while talking about these injustices, but they don't care if you're offended. Ooh La La is a fun change of pace. The Gangstar Greg Nice sample is amazing. It gives the song so much personality, and you guys know how much I love that song. Ooh La La. Ah, wee wee. I love how both LP and Killer Mike are rapping on this song. I love their flows. I love that old dirty bastard line that Killer Mike gave. DJ Premier did great on the outro. It's a fun track. Out of Sight has a bouncy beat. Killer Mike has a crazy flow. This man has the breath control of an Olympic swimmer. There were times when it felt like Killer Mike just refused to breathe at all. And I really like it when LP decides to make the beat a little bit less intense at some points. It made whoever was rapping sound even more menacing. The 2 Chainz feature, which I liked, it was funny. Could have been harder, but I liked it a lot. It was really unexpected, but it was cool. The first half of Holy Calamafuck, it was so dirty. A lot is going on in the instrumental. It sounds messy, but at the same time it sounds like everything has a purpose. And I love the beat switch and the second beat as well. The second beat is truly amazing. Like, the longer you listen to the song, the better it gets. And same goes with the second beat. It sounds so messy and crazy, but in a good way. You know, there are shouting everywhere. This kid is yelling fire constantly. I heard a ribbit. The second half of that song sounds like an actual riot. While Killer Mike was giving his verse, the instrumental started to pick up a bit. It was building up into a beautiful manner and ended off with a chaotic finish. Goonies vs. E.T. also has a bouncy beat. This instrumental has a great beat drop. I like what LP did with it. It kind of sounds like he just modernized, like he just turned a 80s 90s boom bap instrumental but turned it in like a futuristic form. I also really like the hook. Walking in the Snow is by far my favorite song off of this album. I don't think I need to say this, but I'm gonna say it anyways. The instrumental is fantastic. The Gangsta Boo hook is catchy as hell, man. In the song, LP had my favorite quotable out of this entire album. I'd say you lost your goddamn mind if y'all possess one to begin with. That is cold as hell, man. That is so crazy. My favorite part of the song goes to Killer Mike though. His verse. If you've listened to the song, you know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't listened to the song, I'm not gonna spoil it for you. Go listen to it. It's a must listen. But I will say this. That I can't breathe line, like, come on, man. The way he delivered that line was so realistic and depressing, especially since this song was made a year ago. It was in regards to the Eric Garner situation, yet this line is still relevant today because of the George Floyd situation. That's just crazy how it's still relevant today. It shouldn't be, but it is. Like, I don't think they predicted that this line was going to be relevant a year later. I think they knew this line was going to be relevant a year later, which is sad. It's really sad. And I also love how LP just stripped back the instrumental just a tad when Killer Mike started off his verse, and then as Killer Mike started getting darker and darker, so did the beat. That song is one of my favorite songs of the year. It might be my favorite Run the Jewels song ever. Just was a nice change of pace from the last song. It's still politically heavy, but Pharrell provides this song with a catchy hook. If it wasn't for the lyrics, I can totally see this song being played on the radio or in clubs. And the Zack de la Rocha feature is amazing as well. It's a fun song, but it still covers some serious issues. Never Look Back has another great futuristic instrumental. The ooh in the background gives off a creepy vibe to the song. I love Killer Mike's flow, and by the way, this album has some of the best flows both Killer Mike and LP has had in their careers. The Ground Below is rock and roll as hell, man. I deadass do not consider this a rap song. There is rapping, of course, but I genuinely consider this a rock song, a futuristic rock song. If you listen to the chorus and you don't think this is a rock song, you can get out. This is rock and roll as heck. So get out if you don't think so. Goodbye. Pulling the pin is a huge change of pace. The pace is much slower and darker on this one. The background vocals are haunting, instrumental, and the lyrics are depressing yet hard hitting. Even though I love Run the Jewels on this song, Mavis Staples steals the show. This line alone, there's a grenade in my heart and the pin is in their palm. It gets me every time. She delivers that chorus with so much emotion. It's like she genuinely had a grenade in her heart and she's screaming for help. She's screaming for mercy. They finished the album with a bang. A Few Words for the Firing Squad is intense. It's a beautiful odyssey. Although this track is futuristic like the other tracks, it is also pretty jazzy as well. The song has a great build up, is very inspirational as well. Both LP and Killer Mike raps about how they were able to become successful and famous even with the obstacles, and if they are able to make it, so can normal people like us. There are a lot of detours in this instrumental. Again, it starts off very futuristic and jazzy, then it becomes quiet, strings slowly appear just to build up to a manic climax. Everything's just going apeshit on this part. As soon as that chaos is over, the beat turns futuristic again. They end everything with the narrator talking about how Killer Mike and LP are criminals, just fleeing the scene. As a lot of people have said already, this album was the album we needed at this moment. We are currently fighting for black people to be treated as equals in our society in 2020. Not 1920, not 1820, 2020. Unfortunately, black people have to deal with dangers a lot of us don't have to go through. I don't have to go through. I'm a minority, but I don't have to go through a lot of stuff that they have to go through. They are being murdered by police, being treated as second-class citizens. This album perfectly represents how everybody is feeling at the moment, while talking about the issues that is going on at this time. This album is a brilliantly constructed piece of art. Only intellectuals like Killer Mike and LP can create an album like this. Killer Mike, LP, if you guys are for some reason watching this review, thank you for what you're doing. I can't thank you guys enough. You guys are the voice for the voiceless, talking about these important issues that have been going on lately. Not lately, it's been going on for years, but we're just now talking about it. So thank you guys for making an album this fantastic. I think this album is special. That is why I am reviewing it. If it was some ordinary album, I would have just ignored it. But this is no ordinary album. I have been listening to this album practically every day since it's been released. I haven't been this obsessed with an album since last year, since 2019. Run the Jewels have improved a lot. That alone is a high bar to overcome because their other albums are also quite great. I genuinely believe that this is their best album. Sorry, Run the Jewels 2, but there's a new sheriff in town. Bye bye. Well, no, bye bye. I love you, but Run the Jewels 4 is better. I think this album is amazing, so I'm gonna give it my first 9 of the year. Although I kind of want to give it a 10. I know that Run the Jewels can do better than this, even though it's another high bar to surpass. They are talented enough to do even better than this. If anybody can pull it off, they can. Run the Jewels 5 might be the final evolution. They might finally evolve to a Raichu. Who knows? So that's my review of Run the Jewels 4 by Run the Jewels. Thank you guys for watching. I will be working on that setup video for you guys soon, and that might be my next video unless something interesting happens that I might want to cover. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this review corner video. Thank you guys for giving me so much love and support lately. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like the video, comment down below what's your favorite song of this album, and maybe give a rating down below, maybe a mini review. I would like to read some of those. But yeah, I'm done here, so thank you guys for watching. I love you guys. Goodbye.